Hello, everybody. Today's date is the 1st of November, 2023. We're here with the Future Forecasting Group. My name is Sean Mahoney. We're here with Daz, Derek, Dick, Edward, and Nyiam. And we're going to be going over the feedback for the month of October for the world events data that was done by their team here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So pretty much every single category had feedback that corroborated. So let's get into it here. So financial decline, you guys had, big surprise here. The market's going down. Derek had homelessness going up. And look at that. There were tons and tons of articles to choose from to show as feedback, but I just took CNBC's headline with the recession potentially in the forecast, experts say. And there was also lots of news about homelessness being up. And this is just a sample from West Palm Beach, launching an initiative due to the increase in homelessness. You guys had violence, tearing things down, people being beaten. And there was quite a bit to go from there. As you can see, from the chaos being erupted as the pro-Palestinian protesters and the pro-Israeli protesters everywhere. It's pretty much across the globe right now with these demonstrations getting out of hand. So, and back before when you guys were doing this original session work, I don't think that had kicked off yet. So it was like, okay, what's this all about? This one was a really good one with Dick's triangle UFO and Daz saying there's going to be something about the UAP stuff in the news. Yeah, black triangle UFO scene. So there it is. There was a lot of a buzz about that. Politics with Biden. Again, there was a lot of news stories here to show, Biden, of course, being more vacant than normal, his decline continues and the news articles reflect it. The weather events. It's interesting. You guys all had these different things, and sure enough, there was a hurricane down in Mexico. So, yeah. I mean, big wind event, hurricane. You got the flooding, hurricane, people being rescued. You got the person on the coast reporting on it. So all this stuff fits with the hurricane that hit Mexico that was really bad. Military stuff, again, lots of feedback there. But it's interesting that Edward had the sky being blacked out, and you got this news story with the sky being blacked out from all the smoke, which I thought was kind of ominous. Famous people in the news. The only one that I didn't see was Tiger Woods, so it may be yet to come. We had our famous musician and the death of somebody like an advisor. So Carla Bley she was a famous jazz pianist. She passed away. And that Dick even said, it wasn't so much pop or jazz as classic or jazz or classical. So yeah, she was jazz. And then we also had this Ivan Bart, senior advisor from the former president at IMG Models, died at 60. Earthquake. We had Nyiam and Edward with their earthquakes. Edward specified it to the West Coast. There was an earthquake on the West Coast. He had it at a 6.0, but the one that hit in Northern California off the West Coast was a 4.2. But there was also a earthquake of a 6.6 off the coast of Chile, which is the western coast of the southern America continent or South America continent. So I thought that was interesting. You guys had fire. In fact, Edward's high-rise fire out in Boston. 40 residents were displaced for a high-rise fire. And then for the non-corroborated stuff, you guys all had hits here. Space discovery. Astronomers detect an extended stellar halo surrounding galaxy arc 227. And Dick even said AOL Galaxy. Or sorry, Daz said AOL Galaxy. Sorry, Daz, I didn't mean to call you Dick. Also, Daz, he had a wallet being released, and a Korean giant SK Telecom released a crypto wallet. There was also some other crypto-related news related to leaks. Sky event, Daz had his stuff with the Sky event. People looking up, and there was a bright moving object seen across the Texas sky Friday night that hit the news, and there was a huge social media buzz about this one.
I saw that. I actually saw that with my own
That's right, because
eyes.
you're in Austin. You actually
Yeah,
saw.
I actually saw that. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yep. We just happened to be walking. My wife and I went for a walk around the community here. Two of our neighbors stopped us and we talked for maybe 10 minutes. And then as we started walking, it happened right in the direction that we were walking. We saw it. If we wouldn't have talked to them, we would have been walking. I would have not have seen it. But I saw the entire thing and I was like, what the hell just happened, man? I was like,
That's really cool.
yeah. But it was Elon Musk thing.
Interesting. Battery production. This is an oddly specific one. Daz had something about future-based production of electrical batteries, and it's related to production and output. Well, Toyota is pledging an $8 billion investment for more U.S. battery plant to rev up the EV push. And that was big news here from October 3rd. That was just yesterday that hit the news. Health science breakthrough. Again, oddly specific. Derek had something at a cellular level, some sort of a hospital-like research and development complex. Well, there was a new cancer therapy that targets the stopping tumor cells from sharing resources. And look at, he even drew them blue, and they're blue here in this image. So I just thought that was really cool. Derek, you had a famous museum in the news. You even said it's like the Louvre or Smithsonian. Well, the Louvre Museum is being evacuated after a threat while France is under high alert. I hit the news here back on 14 October. Animal herds. Well, a bunch of llamas escaped and caused a bunch of traffic chaos, which I thought was funny. But look at the picture that Derek drew versus the llamas. Well, that was kind of cool. Costume wearer in red. Well, it was all in the news that Ryan Reynolds wouldn't be dressed as Deadpool this Halloween. So I thought that was funny. We need more good news stuff like that. The Trump case. Fireworks in court as Trump team calls ex-lawyer Michael Cohen a liar. You even said fireworks here, Dick, and this says fireworks in court. So thought that was a cool hit. Dick, you had a lesbian love story with two women in their relationship, and there was a big kind of expose on the female and all that the love stuff. Ship in distress. This was an oddly specific one too. Dick had a boat, but not a large ship. Seen above in rough seas, motorized, and but this guy was trying to go around the world, the youngest guy to go around the world, and he had to call for backup when his ship capsized. And a cruise ship rescued him. Honorable award. We had a Woonsocket Purple Heart recipient honored during a national tribute event, and Edward was getting something about the Purple Heart, and I couldn't find anything on this Yellow Heart, but yeah, I'm not sure what that was about, but the Purple Heart guy was honored. Power outage. Edward had something that reminded him of a power junction overloaded, overwhelmed, surged out, blown up. Well, PG&E outage left at least almost 10,000 customers without power in United States here.
They cut the power off in Gaza too. That was another big power outage.
Yeah, that's true. It could be related to Gaza as well. You're right, because that would be an even bigger news event. This was a big one here, Edward. You had King Charles with new mandates, and sure enough, there was a news article: constitutional shift as King Charles' unprecedented move to prorogue Parliament after 7 decades. So completely broke with tradition, and it was big in the news here. Bacteria strain outbreak. This is just crazy. Diphtheria outbreak. Guess what? Building momentum against diphtheria outbreak in Nigeria. It's very oddly specific. Flight emergency. Nyiam had a full kind of session on a plane going off the runway like near miss, and sure enough, FedEx jet skids off the runway at a Tennessee airport after a landing gear failure. Nice work, Nyiam. Skeletal remains. Kind of a weird thing to be in the news, but guess what? Skeletal remains were used to debunk myths surrounding the 1918 flu pandemic regarding healthy people being targeted just as strongly as unhealthy people. And the skeletal remains concluded that people had pre-existing conditions or something like that. Maybe they weren't detected as well back then, but kind of interesting. This is from 2 months ago, but Nyiam had something about a kidnapping, and we did have feedback about that because there was a boy kidnapped, but it was an even bigger news story with this girl, 9, that was found in New York, and she was in a white camper van being held for ransom. So another kidnapping fits Nyiam's story even better than the last one. So we wanted to put that in there as additional feedback. And this was from a while back too, where Dick had seafoam, and yeah, sure enough, there was stinky seafoam in the news, and he specifically said seafoam. So there it is. Nice work, guys. Pretty much everything had feedback here this month. The only thing we're waiting to hear on is Tiger Woods.
Oh, I saw that. There was a story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When I did my search,
I think I sent it to you. Maybe you didn't see that one. It was Justin Timberlake and Tiger Woods are trying to open some kind of museum or golf thing in a town, and everyone's outraged in that city. They don't want them to do it.
Well, there you have it. That's awesome.
Hey, Sean, there was also a 5.3 magnitude earthquake in Nepal on October 3rd that affected like almost 40,000 people, and it literally destroyed almost 2,000 houses.
Wow.
Yeah, there was also a repeat earthquake, 3 in a row in Afghanistan. It was the biggest they've ever had in 30 years or something like that.
Yeah, when I did a search on earthquakes for this month, it was just crazy. There were so many. I mean, there were a ton of earthquakes. So Dick's thing about the Earth's crust being stressed is true. We're already seeing it. But the 2 stories that I picked to highlight were because they were off the west coast of the American. It was North America and South America. So one wasn't the 6.0, but the other one was. But yeah, lots of earthquakes too. Yeah, you guys are getting scary accurate with your predictions here.
Ed, you had some data on like the seawater, the level of the oceans or something like that. And it's funny because I recently reviewed a report that showed pictures of the Statue of Liberty at high tide in like 1896 or something like that. And it shows pictures of like yesterday at the Statue of Liberty at high tide, and it is within like 2 inches of each other. Like you can play it however you want. You could take a picture at high tide 100 years ago and at low tide now, or vice versa. It reminds me of that old saying, is statistics have been proven to be able to prove anything you want.
That's right. That's right.
It's really sad that the climate.
We gotta move all of Cuba over in the United States. Why?
Could you imagine?
The water is rising. The oceans are boiling, like Al Gore said at the last World Economic Forum. The oceans are boiling. On what planet are they boiling, Al?
Venus, Mars.
I've never seen an ocean boil.
Yeah, you can go back into the 90s and get sound bites of Al Gore saying, we only have 10 years to change or we're all doomed. And it's like, it's a mantra that gets repeated and repeated.
I'm still waiting for the ice storms or whatever. Back in the 70s, we were going to have a freeze apocalypse. Remember that? Yeah,
global cooling. Yep. Well, really appreciate all the work that you guys do, and we'll wait and see what happens for the month of November here. So, all right, well, thank you everybody, and that's a wrap for today.